Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 in the 1% Club. Hello, my friends. I know it's been a week or so since I did one. A lot of things, crazy things happening after the wedding. So hopefully I can get kind of into a pattern and kind of start doing some more for you guys. But I appreciate all the comments, feedbacks, positivity, all the donations. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll kind of find ways to kind of get better and better on this, and as we do this. Some shout outs here before we actually do our topic. How about Super God 863 had 2 of them. Thank you, my friend. Bob Matthews, thank you for your comment. Mr. Everybody 1150 had 3 of them. Thank you, Mr. Everybody. JTE Creates, thank you, my friend. Red Pill on Steroids, thank you. Moy Hernandez 17 months. Keep it strong, my friend. In earnest, thank you. Rollacoastertycoon, thank you, my friend. Matriculated, thank you. Volk 88B, thank you. Hizkiyahu, thank you, my friend. Anadana Booster, thank you. Jack, thank you. Miguel Mendez 2, thank you, my friend. Blackpillaudrius, thank you. Mr. Everybody again, thank you. Intimidator, thank you. Grand Wizard for real, 4 months. Congratulations, my friend. Keep it going. Jeroenverreyken, thank my friend. Okey the goal, thank you. Per Allwin, 1963, 17th day, keep it going. Congratulations, my friend. FYI 45110. The book we're talking about all the time, my friend, is called Kendler. It's from Peter Kendler, and it's the Fountain of Youth. So I think it's called The Ancient Secrets of Fountain of Youth. It's had different titles over the years, but that's the book we're talking about. I've had that since 1998. It's an excellent book. If anybody wants to kind of get some exercises, semen retention, all those type of things. Semen retention is actually the 6th exercise that they have in the book. So not only just do the 5 they're talking about, but do the 6 as well. I think you'll see some great benefits. I have for the last 30 years, so I appreciate that. And Bobby Biscuit, and thank you, and per Allwin, thank you as well. All right, so today, my friends, at the 220 mark, we're going to talk about relationships. And the question is, can you have a good relationship with semen retention? And I know Wavy slash DEIR asked that question, so thank you, Wavy. Let's talk about this for a second. So when we talk about the purpose of things that we're doing, again, let's take a step back. What we want to do is make sure we're the highest value male we can be. We're doing that because God's purposes, and this is where you're conquesting yourselves and conquesting things around you under God's purpose. You're following God's purpose. There's a purpose for you to do, whether it's to help people, whether it's to create things for people, help people in times of needs, help your city, help your town, help your country. There's reasons for you to be here, and that's the purpose you have to find that. That should be your relationship with your creator, your God, should be number one. And then from that point on, then you're looking to become the best male you can become. Females become the best females you can become. But the question then becomes, okay, what kind of relationship we're having? A lot of you guys who listen to the channel and watch and view the channel really are looking at female attraction, things like that. If you're looking for that one person, that's a little bit different than in the old days before you started doing retention, trying to have those one night stands. And yes, you could have intimacy without releasing, but once again, you're looking for pleasure when you're doing that. And the whole key to what you're trying to do is avoid the pleasure of releasing, and you're trying to look for the long-term purpose and long-term satisfaction of the relationship with your God and your creator. So relationships themselves take on a different meaning when it comes to retention. And so as you look at this situation, you're trying to retain as much of your energy as you can. You're going to lose a little bit of it, even accidentally, whether it's wet dreams or something like that. And you're going to lose it by stress, emotions, things like that at times as well. But you're trying to keep as much energy as you can. So how does it affect relationships, right? You can have great relationships with semen retention. I believe relationships are actually better with retention and keeping your energy force than losing it. Now, a lot of people say, well, back in the old days were different than the new days. Well, I think human nature has always been the same, and people respond the same way as they've done in the past. I don't care what the new technology is, the new inventions, all those things. People are still people at the base of their nature. And males are going to do certain things and females are going to do certain things. So when you look at all the research over time, it's very easy to see that when people get together, their intimacy level affects the relationship, because especially when they're younger and they're looking attractive, both of them, that affects that relationship with that person. And if they get intimate right away and they sleep with each other and releasing, each one releasing, then that's going to impact that relationship. A lot of times what happens is when people get addicted to that, they start to burn out. And they burn out because they didn't really focus on the relationship, talking, communicating, versing, finding out the value system of both people, those type of things. What they did was they focused on the physical intimacy right away. And eventually that's going to burn itself out. It may be great for a while, but it's going to burn itself out. And what do you have to fall back on? A lot of times people, when they have these one-night stands and things like that, they're looking at each other as an object. They're not looking at any kind of long-term. In fact, they avoid that like the plague. They may ghost the person the next day. They may not even have anything to do with the person. This is why body count becomes really a crucial issue and a bad issue for women and men, especially for women, because their DNA, all these things are within people who are sleeping with that person. How can you trust any kind of person to sleep with 100 people, right? The idea is that that person is supposed to build those relationships in a way where it's not physical. So what you're doing is seeing the person for the way they are. You're not being influenced by the physical nature, the addiction of the person. And that's why for years, and I did this for years as I was going through, and my even relationship with my wife, before we got married, there was no intercourse. I'm very old-fashioned to the core, right? And people could laugh at that all they wanted. It was 30-some years ago, but they could laugh at it, and they were laughing at it back then. That's not the modern age. Well, it is the modern. To me, it's the modern age. Now, people, used to practice celibacy before they got married a long time ago. But the thing is that what you do is you establish a relationship with that person. And basically, you're figuring out what are the value system you have. Are you compatible? This is why marriages used to be arranged in certain countries, are still arranged in certain countries. And why parents had a bigger say, because they understood the nature of their children and they knew whether or not they were compatible. There wasn't the introduction of all these intercourse, all these things has really just muddled the waters when it comes to relationships. This is why we have so much divorce, in my opinion, because people are not keeping their energy, focusing on this other person, getting to know the person, developing a relationship, and not having all their hormones go crazy on them, and look at the person for what they are. And eventually, especially as a friend, having a friend that you're having intercourse with, especially if you're married and you're procreating, that's one of the best things in the world. But you have to establish that relationship with the person first. The one-night stands, may make you excited for a while, but that's all it is. And that's all it's going to ever be, because you really have an established relationship. Now, if you're practicing retention, even if you're married to the person, you're getting to know who that person is. As time goes on with retention, whether like it is in my case 1,500 days now, over 1,500 days, with NoFap, you're looking at something where you're now focusing not on the intercourse, you're focusing on that person. And that person becomes really your focal point, learning about the person, understanding the person, and be able to have those logical decisions and not based on the emotion, especially the anxiety and things like that when you're releasing all the time. So releasing makes a huge difference in relationships, and especially at the point of trying to develop a strong relationship with that woman that you're interested in. So when we talk about attraction and all the things that we talk about, it's obviously very important to practice retention, because one of the benefits is clarity. It's going to be relaxing, reducing anxiety, and you're going to attract a lot of women. But then the key is going to be, in my opinion, warriors, to be able to go ahead and then say, okay, I'm going to develop this relationship. I'm going to be patient. I'm not going to go ahead and try to sleep with this woman. In fact, I'm not even going to go ahead and do it. And it's interesting because I used to always have the policies of, not kissing until a third date, not doing anything really serious until third, fourth date. And I would find a lot of women really upset and angry of why no one's making a move on them, right? And so, but this is a policy that I think you must have when it comes to relationships with women. You must look to continue to build yourself, build your goals. And I'm not saying go ahead. I know this MGTOW movement wants to avoid women, and I know the modern women, I've run into so many of them, are not, very positive. And I understand their attitudes, more masculine. But you're going to find some women that are not like that. You're going to find, and there are some traditional women coming back. The trad wife, whatever you call it, is coming back. I see more of that now. Women are realizing that feminism took them in a wrong direction. It was exaggerated to the point of way out of line against men. And so what's happened is that they realize they need men. I mean, neither gender really needs a person, but they makes their life easier. If you have a partner, especially when you have kids or doing bills or housework, there are things that should work. And when you look at the basic line, a lot of males, they have come to been criticized for wanting to protect and provide for the family. And females who've been, really should be nurturing and helping their husband and helping the kids and building that family, they don't want to do that. They've been ridiculed for doing that. And it's really a shame that those things are happening. But it is changing, in my opinion. It is changing. And whereas I think you go back to the old style of what things should be, and a man is a man and a woman is a woman. And the masculine energy and the feminine energy must meet in a positive way. If you feel too much masculine energy, then you shouldn't even be with that type of woman. But that's a way you can tell this if you're not releasing. If you're having some level of celibacy, if you're not really trying to just find a woman and sleep with them, then basically what you're doing is finding out and getting to know this person. Not necessarily going out and getting drunk or getting parties where people can do anything and their inhibitions are low. You're basically trying to figure out who this person is. And you're trying to figure out, okay, do I want to be with this person? Do I want to eventually get a serious relationship with the person? And this is a key type of thing. So as you're focusing on your goals, there's nothing wrong, especially if you're single, of having a goal of focusing on having a good relationship. But a number of key things here. First of all, you got to go ahead and focus on your goals. Make that the high priority. God is first, your family, whatever that may be, is second. If you don't have a family, you're developing family, well then of course that's something as a priority. And your job and career is after that. But God will give you that direction. Now, when you find those women who become attracted to you anyway, you're going to have a whole set of them who are interested, flirting with you and different types of things. Warriors, I still have it at my age. And I'm married for 30 some years. And I'm 63 years old. So I know this works. I know the results of this. But I also know it's, to me, a very flattering thing. There was another young lady today that I intercoursed that just was 18 years old, nervous, all kinds of stuff at the college classroom. And it's just, it's a very flattering thing. And I think if you take it that way, then you're okay, especially if you're married. Obviously, when you're married, you're not interested in anything else. But if you're single and you're interested in that type of woman, who is a very nice woman, but the thing is that you want to go ahead and, they call it vetting it out. You want to go ahead and find out if this person is right for you. And the way you do that is you don't release. If you release, well, that's what you're starting to think about, right? Now, all of a sudden, you're thinking about those type of things, and that woman becomes more like an object than something that you really want to talk with and develop a relationship with. So this is why we talk about the fact that being celibate being able to control your energy, transmuting energy will give you that attraction. But now you can't take advantage of it by going ahead and releasing with the woman. What you want to do is continue your pattern, focus on yourself, focus on God, but also get to know this person more. And as time goes on, now you'll develop a companion, someone who you may think is a friend, and that friendship may lead down the line to something more serious. And now if you want to have, intercourse and you want to have children with a person, if you get married to the person, which is what I would end up doing, in that kind of situation, then you can say, okay, let's have a child, and then you can go ahead and try to release a little bit to be able to figure out if you can have that child. So I think that Wavy Dash has a good point here. I think that semen retention is a very crucial idea when it comes to relationships. You want to make sure that this is the forefront, but God should be your basis. God has given you all this energy to use it wisely. And so you want to build yourself up. You want to build yourself physically, spiritually, intellectually, start achieving your goals, become that high-level person, and you'll see lots of women coming to you because they recognize a high-level man. They don't see him very often, and they recognize a high-level man, and most of these women, whether you're married or not, whether you're in a long-term relationship, whether your wife is standing there with you, they will flirt, they will come after you because they don't see very many men of this caliber. And you want to be that high caliber man. And therefore, as you do this, now you have to go ahead and set some goals and say, is this type of woman that I want to be with? Do I see myself with this woman, or should I move on? And especially a lot of it comes back to the energy. If you have semen retention and you transmit it the right way, you should have a high level of energy. I worked all day today teaching classes and consulting, all kinds of stuff from 7:45 in the morning all the way until now. But I have lots of energy because, I'm retaining. And I think it's a big part of it. But the thing is that sometimes you run into people, women especially, and men, will be negative. And they will try to drain you. And you cannot let that happen. Move away from those people. I call it clearing out the attic. Clear out the attic. Get rid of all these people. Even if they're family members, you're going to have to diminish the time. You do not want people draining you, being the vampire suckers emotionally, to get away from you being that strong, positive energy force. All right, anyway, thank you guys. Wavy, thank you for your comments. Relationships, focus, guys. Focus on yourselves first. Relationships will come because women will be highly attracted to you. But vet them out first. Make sure you figure out what this woman is. Don't allow the emotion of the intercourse, the attractiveness. It's an illusion, guys. With makeup and things like that, a lot of women don't look anything like the makeup they have on. Be careful of that. But get to know the woman, the value system. Women are wonderful. I love women. They're great. But women look at things differently. Make sure you guys have something where you can create a win-win situation and have a good relationship. All right, friends, until next time, God bless you guys. As I always say, two things. One, every day is a new day to a great warrior, and you guys are all great warriors. And number two, guys, we have a continual battle. We know it. We know we're battling Satan and evil one all the time, and therefore we got to keep the armor head plate on. We got to keep the breastplate on. We got to have the sword ready, and we've got to continue to battle on! God bless you guys. Have a great night.